In this nugget, we're going to learn key context about the performance of plays in Shakespeare's time. There is a play within a play in A Midsummer Night's Dream, because in Act 5, the craftsmen perform a play at the wedding celebrations. Theatre performances would have been very different, both in ancient Athens, when the play is set, and in Shakespeare's time, to the performances that we see today. We will explore some of those differences in this nugget. The Craftsman's play calls our attention to the fact that young men had to play the part of women, because women were not allowed to be actors in Shakespeare's time. A Midsummer Night's Dream was written by Shakespeare in the 16th century. Flute is a young man, so he's given the part of Thisbe, a woman. Young men, who were young enough to be beardless, with high voices, would play the parts of women. Actors would not have had special effects on stage, so they would have had to use basic props. For instance, they would have had basic props for the characters such as the moon, wall, and lion in the Craftsman's play. Starveling plays the part of the moon. In the prologue, Quince explains that Starveling represents the moon. He says, "This man with lanthorn, dog, and bush of thorn presenteth moonshine." Quince points out that Starveling is holding a lantern to represent the moonlight. You may notice that there are several references to moonlight in the play. This is because plays were performed outdoors in broad daylight, and therefore the characters have to tell us when it's nighttime. For instance, in Act 2, when Titania and Oberon meet, Oberon tells us that it is nighttime by referring to the moonlight. You can see that theatre performances would have been very different both in ancient Athens and in Shakespeare's time to the performances we see today. It's important to bear this in mind when you're reading the play.